You're here. We'll hear first from the coach, followed by some questions you folks might have for Elizabeth Giguere and Gabbie Hughes. Maura, you want to make a statement on your thoughts on the game?
Sure. Yeah, obviously not the game we wanted to play today. Giving up that goal in the first shift there was tough, but I thought we bounced back from that. Had a pretty good stretch there in the first, and then they got that one at the end of the second. That one was tough too. I think a lot of their goals just came at really opportune times for them, and were tough to overcome. But I really liked the way we came at them a little bit more in the second, came at them even more in the third. You know, when Jig got that first goal, I think we were all confident we were going to be able to push and make it a game, you know, get two, then pull the goalie with 2 minutes left and have some magic happen. So our belief is there. I think credit the Gophers for playing a good game, and we know we can play better. I think we all know that in our locker room, and, you know, hopefully we show that in the next week.
Any questions for the student athletes?
Gabbie, you obviously don't look very happy. Do you take any solace in the fact that you're probably going to play again next week?
Yeah, of course. It's always tough losing, especially in a game where we could have played a whole lot better. Knowing that we didn't play like the team that we know we are is frustrating, but it's also exciting to know that we can come back and get in some practices and come back even stronger. And we're always a team that takes these things to heart and come back even stronger from some letdowns.
Elizabeth, JoJo has been so good for you in the last week and a half or so. Did you have to kind of build her up a little bit after that first one? It really seemed uncharacteristic for her.
No, I mean, she's been good for us for more than a week. I mean, she's been good for us since she even started her first game. And we can't forget about that. So I had all the confidence in the world in her, and I think that she doesn't even need it. I mean, yeah, I went up there and I said, you got this, like, we need to be better in front of you. So, but I don't even think she needed it. So I'm just proud of her. She made a lot of good saves. Could have been way worse than that, so just proud of her.
And then for either of you, what do you say after that one at the end of the first? I mean, just dumb puck luck kind of play. I mean, that had to hurt.
Yeah, it's always frustrating when some lucky bounces going against you when you are starting to play the game that you want to play and a lucky bounce goes in like that. But still having that confidence in JoJo as always and lifting her up. She knew that one was a lucky bounce, and we all kind of did. So just having each other's back and knowing that wasn't a grade A chance for them.
Is that disappointing that really the first two goals were kind of fluky? Certainly the Hangler's was a fluke. Is it hard to think back that because otherwise you were playing really well? I mean, does that sting a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it does. You don't want those bounces going against you. You want them for you, but it's part of the game, and we just needed to bounce back from that. And I mean, it happens. What do you want to do about it? So, like everyone was saying, bad bounce. We just keep going. So that's what we did.
What do you guys think that you learned from a game like this, especially with that strong forecheck and knowing that you wanted more for yourself? What do you think you take from this game going into next week?
Yeah, I think just confidence in ourselves and our own abilities and being confident in each other, I think, is super important. And we are, and we just got to continue to do that on a consistent basis. Not letting them come into our zone so much, having a little more up on them. And I think just believing in one another and coming out from the drop of the puck is something we'll take away from this one.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Maura, we still
I
they
see.
might have
Okay.
some for you.
Got it.
Sorry, Coach.
Good job, guys.
Any questions for the coach?
Coach, could you talk into your microphone a little bit?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I'll move it.
Just, you know, the emotion of giving up goals early in the period, giving up goals late in the period. I mean, that had to be a tough thing for your team tonight emotionally.
Yeah, you know, when the first one went in, it was almost so early that it was like, okay, put that one behind us. That's okay. And I thought we got going, like Gabbie was saying, started playing our game a little bit, and then the one at the end was just tough. I mean, like you guys talked about, fluky goal goes off our D and in, so now you're in a 2-goal hole, but we still know we can score goals. You know, we've got kids that can put the puck in the net, so that doesn't scare us too much. But then we opened the second, and they scored within the first 3. So now that's rough. 3-goal hole. Started playing a little bit more aggressively, taking a little bit more chances, and then went into the third with what I thought was a good game plan, and boom, you know, they came right back down. We sat back too far again, and now it's 4, and that's a big hill to climb. Again, I like the fight in our team. You know, they never go away, but some of those decisions need to be made quicker in game. We got to adjust and adapt to the situations that we're in. And when we say stay up on them, you can't give good teams a lot of time and space. And they were given a lot of time and space. And they're going to make plays. We would too. I said to the team in the locker room, hey, if someone gave us that much time and space, you'd be finding the back of the net too. So I think it's a great learning experience. It's a big moment for us in the final face-off. We come down here. It's always top teams in the country, and we're right there with them. We know we can beat them, but you got to be ready in these big moments, and that's something that we'll work on. And I'm glad we had this experience. Obviously wanted it to go better, but to be able to extend the season here, and we're going to play in bigger moments coming up. So hopefully we learn from it.
And Maura, after the first, what did you guys talk about in terms of, like, that forecheck was sort of relentless, and it felt like your players were maybe a little frozen in terms of trying to take too long to make plays and make decisions?
Yeah, you know, we want to move pucks north on the Gophers instead of like D to D to D to D, because their forecheck, they'll close you out, and you don't have a lot of time and space. Maybe you go D to D once, then we want to get it up, and then our forwards need to go to work. You know, they got to win the walls. You've got the big D smashing down on the walls there. You got to be able to handle that, have good support through the middle. I was focused on the lines a lot. You know, our offensive blue line, when you're there, the puck's got to go deep at that point. We can't turn it over because, boom, they come and they transition quick. Same thing, our defensive blue line, we have to play up. You can't give them a lot of time and space. So I think those lines are always really important when we play Minnesota because we both like getting up and down. So that's where it's all played.
Did you expect maybe the special teams to play a bigger part than they did today?
Not.
Clean games like that?
I thought they would. I thought the reffing would be like it was today. I didn't think that they would call stuff that they didn't need to call. I thought it was pretty good today. So I wasn't expecting a big special teams matchup. I think that comes in the NCAA tournament.
A lot of conversation about Minnesota's penalty. Did you think that was potentially a 5, or what was the conversation?
Yeah, I was wondering about that and considered challenging it myself, but they said that our player's head didn't go into the boards so that it wouldn't be considered a major, and that's the way that they've been instructed to call major penalties. So that was the feedback we got.
Any plans for tomorrow, watch party or anything like that? And what do you think getting to the Frozen Four last year means for this team as far as experience, now that it gets real?
Yeah, definitely. We'll be in our locker room at 8 o'clock. I think the feeling will be a little different than last year. There's a little more, certainty with the season moving on, so that's a good thing. But it's always special anytime you can get to the NCAA tournament. It's a dogfight every year, and still not settled where we're going or who we're playing. So that's kind of fun. And it's going to be on TV this year and a real selection show, which I'm so excited about for all the student athletes. So we're gonna have to shake this one off and move ahead. At least we get a nice celebration tomorrow and get ready for our next opponent.
Any more for Maura? Good luck next week.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maura.